the feature that is most requested by the technology nerd on iPhone is most probably the 120Hz. 120Hz display might be a feature that nerds care the most about, while the rest of the market, the mass market, do not at all. Seriously. I mean, go ask your mom right now. Go and ask her what she thinks of the 120Hz display. But then, on the other hand, there are Android phones from flagship to mid-range which do have the 120Hz panel. So this brings up a question that is brought up again and again. If cheap Android phones can have 120Hz, why don't Apple do it? This is a legit question. And the answer here is just one word: scale. You need to understand one thing, that product development isn't exactly about just developing the hardware. Innovating the hardware is just one part of the whole product development chain. That way, Apple and other companies spend billions of dollars in R&D. Why don't they just use all of that R&D into one single phone and just sell it? Because that's not possible. Scale. Product development is a lot more than just developing that product. From marketing that technology to manufacturing, testing, everything else comes under this umbrella. This exact reason is why even Intel is lagging behind AMD, just because of the scale. So now you might be thinking, well, smartphone market is a huge market in itself. If one company does it, the other should be able to. What does the scale have to do with that? And that, let me explain you. In the first half of last year, Apple sold 37.7 million units of iPhone 11, while the flagship Android that was the most selling with 120Hz panel was S20 with just 3.5 million units. Just think about that. Even right now we are hearing the rumors of Apple finally releasing the 120Hz panel in their upcoming iPhone 13. The news report that has stated the same, that Apple has given a contract to Samsung to manufacture around 120 million displays for Apple. These are going to be LTPO panel with 120Hz refresh rate. On a side note, let me explain what an LTPO panel is. So an LTPO panel is what you see in your Apple Watch. Basically, it's a display panel that can change its refresh rate based on the content that is on the screen. So if you are watching a movie that is at 24 frames per second, then the frame rate of the screen would drop down to 24 Hz to save your battery life. While if you are gaming or just doing multitasking, then it will go back up to 120 Hz for ease of use. And that is the same technology that Apple uses in the Apple Watch, so that it can drop down the refresh rate to 1 Hz, so that it can have an always on display while losing very little battery. But think about it, 120 million units. Now you can understand where in the larger scheme of things, scale matters how much. That many units at that higher scale in that limited time would obviously create some bottlenecks when it comes to manufacturing the same. So of course, your phone might have a 120Hz panel, but the company that made that phone wouldn't have had to make 50 million units of that model. So that's why whenever you see any new technology coming out to the Android, do not think that Apple would release it instantly. It will take time, because that technology has to come down to that level of margin so that it can be manufactured at a higher scale and thus be included in the iPhone. That's the same reason why we saw Touch ID coming after the fingerprint readers have already been established on the Android scale, or the OLED panel coming on iPhone after they have already been on Android phones for a while. Each of these technologies take a while to be mass manufactured in a way so that it can be sold in scale which are 10 to 20 times higher than any other phone with that feature. I hope this makes you understand how much the economies of scale matter when it comes to manufacturing any product for any market. If you like the video or learned something from this video, please do not forget to give a like, share and subscribe. Also, please do not forget to click the bell icon to be notified of any new videos to come. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.